Let's face it, I'm Nick Shell. I'm going to talk about hair loss, and I'm going to mix in psychology probably. Let's get started with some inspiration thanks to this comment on a recent video I did. Alright, so the video was receding hairline and balding, never satisfied with hairstyle. That was the name of the video. And we have, it looks like a newcomer named Odie Jason. So Odie, I want to thank you for supporting my channel by watching the video, leaving a comment, which in turn produced this video as well. Here's what Odie Jason said, quote, "You can't say that your hair doesn't define you, but then point to the hair on your face and say that your beard can," end quote. I don't know. That's a good point, Odie. I mean, maybe you're right. And I think probably the best thing to do is for us to discuss that as a whole, for everyone watching my channel to help me sort that out, because this is something I've mentioned more than once on my video channel here, is that people aren't generally afraid of being wrong. They're afraid of being exposed as hypocrites. That's what people ultimately fear, because we all know we're going to be wrong. I go through every day of my life assuming I'm wrong at least half the time. That's a sign of emotional intelligence. I have to go through every day always expecting for the wind to blow and be too loud, and then something behind me be really loud. But I go through every day expecting to be wrong about things so that I can learn from those, right? So for that reason, I think most people realize being wrong is a part of life, but being exposed for being a hypocrite or being exposed as inconsistent, well, that's a problem, and that is ultimately what's being implied here. So, I mean, I don't know. What I would say is, is it possible for me to not ultimately be a hypocrite, to be able to say, you know what, your hair doesn't define you. Your hair is probably going to betray you. The older you get, the less hair you'll have. You're going to lose your hair. Chances are, especially if you're watching this channel, because something motivated you to get here, right? So yeah, I'm still standing by my word on that our hair, we're not defined by our hair. But at the same time, to say that your beard can define you, I think that makes a lot of sense for me, because I'm all about focusing what I can control, not focusing on what I cannot control. I cannot control my hair falling out. No, granted, well, I understand Rogaine and all that stuff. But naturally, that's going to happen. But naturally, I've got a beard going. So if I can focus on what I can control, like a beard, which makes me look good, and many of us who lose our hair often have some of the best beards. It's kind of the trade-off. Not always, but a lot of the times. But I don't know. I mean, that's my look at it. I think that your hair doesn't have to define you. That you can not have hair and not be defined by that. But I think that you can make up for it in other ways, like having a beard, or being decisive and being committed and being funny and being skilled and being confident. I think, you know, there's several things that can define you despite your hair loss, and I think a beard can be one of them. But I don't know. Who am I to say? I think this is something we need to discuss in the comments further in this video, because, like I said, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, and I want to know. So this is what Odie had to say. What do you have to say? Let me read what Odie had to say one more time. Quote, "You can't say that your hair doesn't define you, but then point to the hair on your face and say that your beard can," end quote. So that's what Odie said on my video, receding hairline and balding, never satisfied with hairstyle. I mean, you got me thinking. I don't know. I don't know if I'm a hypocrite. I don't know if that goes against itself or it makes sense. In my mind, it makes sense. And it's consistent within what I say on my videos. I don't know. You decide. You let me know. We are the Brotherhood of the Hair Loss. This is a collaboration. And I am not always right. Again, I assume I'm wrong at least half the time. So let's figure this out. Let's sort this out on what our friend Odie says. And this is what we're discussing. Quote, "You can't say that your hair doesn't define you, but then point to the hair on your face and say that your beard can." I'm saying focus on what you can control, not on what you can't. That's where I'm coming from. But hey, that's just my opinion. What's your opinion? Right here.